Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. La ilaha illallah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. And what I'm talking about today is the shooting that occurred on March 12th on the city's north side, where a 39-year-old woman was shot and killed. I've been reading the blogs from M Life, WWMT3's website. I've been reading the one from the Kalamazoo Gazette, and I've been reading the comments that people are saying. Why was she out at that time of morning? What was she doing? Why are these people blah, blah, this and that? Looking to point blame. Well, I'm going to tell you what's up. First off, the chief of police had no right to go and make that comment to the Kalamazoo Gazette or to any press release on that until a full investigation had been done. Now, evidently, the chief of police in Kalamazoo, Michigan must think this is Hollywood, and they've done an investigation within an hour that he can make that type of a statement, stating that the woman was involved with this so-called X train, where they cruise up and down the block 60 or 40 to 60 cars and all this stuff, and they're doing all kinds of stuff, keeping people up. That's far from the truth. And he should be called to the damn carpet about making that statement. But see, this is the problem in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Those that are in authority, they can say and do whatever they want to do, and no one calls them to the carpet on it. Now, he needs to be called on that, because this basically, from what I'm reading on the blogs, you got people believing that this woman was a thug, she was a hoodlum. This was a hard-working woman. She was almost 40 years old, had worked at Checker Motors, had worked at Pharmacy of Upjohn. Her son was 20 years old. Okay, he's technically, by the law, he's an adult. She went down there when she got calls that he was involved in an altercation with some other young adults. She went down there to try to get her son to come home before something like this happened. And unfortunately, it happened. But due to the ineptness of the Kalamazoo Gazette, due to the ineptness of the Kalamazoo City Police Department, no one really wants to do an investigation, because to most people and most citizens in Kalamazoo, well, it happened on the north side, so that lady got what she had coming to her. Y'all some cold-hearted SOBs. You willing to believe anything that the police say is the gospel and it's been graved in stone. You're willing to believe anything that the Kalamazoo Gazette, which, mind you, don't do any type of investigative reporting. They don't do that. All they go by is what a police report says. Their reporters don't go out and investigate anything. So they need to be held accountable. Just like years ago when I lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I fought with Mosby and Arbwadi for years. I fought with the city commission for years. I fought with the county commission for years. And it wasn't about a racial thing. It was about a thing of equality and justice for all. Now, all of you as dumb SOBs that's made all these comments on all these different little blogs and comments on all these different little things of M Life and the Gazette and WWMT, why don't you take your worthless butts down to the funeral and tell the family how you feel? Tell her family and friends how you truly feel. Why don't you be bold enough to do that? I doubt if you would, because you're cowards. You don't care as long as you hear it happen on the north side or the east side or the south side and it wasn't near your neighborhood. Then it's, oh, they just got what they had coming to them. They're just animals. Well, you know what? You're wrong. Because, see, as I always have told people, and I said it back in the day, and I'm not, and you can call it racist if you want to. White people, y'all help start this stuff. You've made all this mud in the house, but you don't want to help clean it up. All you want to do is point fingers. Okay, that's all you want to do. That's why when we hear of massive school shootings, it's your children doing it. It's not blacks. It's not Hispanics. It's not Puerto Ricans going into schools, shooting up whole schools and shooting up college campuses. It's your children doing it. But you don't want to admit that. You don't even like to talk about it. So before y'all run around here and start calling this woman all out of her name and disrespecting her, not having any type of thought in your mind that this young man may possibly have to go through the rest of his life with the burden on his shoulder that his actions might have cost his mother her life. Think about it before you get out here and get to judging people. Before you get out here and say, well, that's what they said in the Kalamazoo Gazette, and knowing that them dumb SOBs, my God, I mean, the Kalamazoo Gazette. I mean, people got mad at my last broadcast when I called Detective Matt Wolf the Keystone Cops. Sorry about that, Matt. I was wrong. Your Inspector Clouseau and your Chief of Police in Kalamazoo, Michigan is now Inspector Clouseau, because he should have thought about what he was saying before he went out and gave the press that type of a statement. If I was the family, I would be looking at some type of recompensance on that. I would be seriously downtown right now protesting the chief of police and his comments that he made on this woman saying she was involved in this X-ray. So basically, we don't need to do an investigation because we know what happened. That's your problem in Kalamazoo. That's your problem. Because you take the gospel, whatever the media tells you, before you hear all the facts. And once you do hear the facts and find out you're wrong, you're not even man enough or woman enough or a whole enough as a community to admit we were wrong. Think about it. Salaam alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.